Hello and welcome to e-cig Review. Today I'm going to be reviewing a rather unusual device, at least for me. This is the e-small mini pipe and is the manual version. It's got a little clicky button here on the sides. It turns out that's pretty good because you can get it with your thumb if you got it in this hand. You can get it with your finger if you got it in this hand. You can almost choose your finger. It's really well laid out. There's a good spot for the button. It also keeps you from accidentally tripping it. Anyway, I purchased this, I don't know, probably about 10 days ago or so. Just got here yesterday and used it all night. It makes quite a little bit of vapor. I'm still using the cartridges that came with it. It came with a little box of cartridges, and they appear to be marked with a W. They're high strength. They're all high. Gotta love that. No more of that mediums and lows. No, you all high. So at least you all got. They're all the same. Anyway. It produces quite a little bit of vapor. I had to modify it slightly. I've got that later in the video here. I'll show you how to do that. Really good flavor, too. This takes an 801 atomizer. So basically, it's a fancy battery box attached to an 801 atomizer, but it looks like a small pipe. The little jewel case lights up. It's really hard to catch. You can see it a lot better in person. Let me get in close. The vapor production is great on this thing, and flavor is very good too. The cartridges are some sort of tobacco-y flavor, and they're really not bad. It's not like a pipe tobacco though. It's not quite like Marlboro. It's very similar. I really don't know what it is. It's a good throat hit. What else can I tell you about the little fella? It's a nice black color. The silver band really doesn't hurt it. But I did have to block off some of the airflow, and I'll show you that here right now. Okay, here's the box that the e-small mini pipe comes in, and what we have inside, of course, the obligatory manual. You always get the manual. You get a box of cartridges. These are marked high, and the W, I thought it was a M. I thought it was Marlboro at first, but when you turn it upside down, it's obviously not. It's a W. It's, well, I'm not really sure what it is. Some form of tobacco flavor. Let's see what else we have here. The charger. Now, if you're in America, the first thing you're going to do when you see this charger is panic because it has the Euro plug on it, the 2 prongs. But that's okay because it comes with this little adapter for the US wall mains. You just get it all lined up. It's pretty stiff. And in she goes. Problem solved. Plugs right in the wall. You get 2 batteries. These are 14250. Let me see if I can zoom in and get a good close look at those. And we get the focus squared away here. 14250, 3.6 volt, 250 milliamp hours. More than enough for the pipe. Actually, battery life on this is probably 3 to 4 hours, and maybe more. I'm getting 3 to 4 hours before I stop, but I've never run the thing out. I've never had the little blinky lights of doom tell me it was time to stop. And then, of course, you have your mini pipe. Now, the packaging is extremely good, very fluffy, soft. And there's a ding or two in the box from shipping, and nothing could have gotten to the pipe. This foam padding is a very nice box, really well done. All right, now the pipe itself consists of the little bowl in which the battery goes in. You basically just take a battery. I think this is the one that's fully charged, and then you have this little jewel cap. Now, I've heard a lot of people complain about the jewel cap, and I haven't had any trouble with it myself. You simply push it on and turn it, and now getting it lined up is kind of a trick, but once it's on, it's on. It isn't loose, really. It's not falling off, but there were people complaining about it. It seems to be stuck on there pretty good. Now, the atomizer, no great secret here. I think the world already knows. These are 801 atomizers. Now, if you notice, when you zoom in close, I'll get the zoom going again here, has a couple of little air holes. And then a major hole in the middle. That would be for battery activation on a standard automatic battery, 801, or perhaps even the pipe. The problem is that this is very loose, it's very airy. So what I did was I made myself a tiny little block for that pipe, for the little hole, and it is made out of the little butt plug out of a atomizer. Basically, I just take that and get the little battery in here and I drop it in there, and it come out in just such a way that it blocks the little hole. You get zoomed in so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. It blocks the big hole, actually. The little holes are still evident, of course. They're on the atomizer. The big holes, or the little holes are over here, and the big hole is what we're trying to block, because with all three holes, just too much air. So basically I drop that in there, and it is, hard as it is to believe, it is just small enough that when I screw this together, I still get a battery contact and still get vapor. And it's all put together. Now, the way I made that, I take my little atomizer condom right here, or atomizer butt plug, I'm sorry, just get a razor knife, got one right here ready to go, and basically what I did was, if you look at the little butt plug, there's a change in diameter right here. You'll see it comes down and then it gets smaller. Let me see if I can zoom in on that so you see what I'm talking about. There, you notice the diameter difference. Well, basically all I did was take the razor knife, come over here to the proper spot right where the change is, and munch it off. I then moved up to the stopper. You notice there's a heavier portion right here, and just the thinnest slice of that, just get a hold of it in the thinnest possible slice, and you might have to do 2 or 3 of these, but the little parts, you're going to be throwing those away in bulk anyway if you use atomizers. If you don't, talk to somebody that does use them, you'll get some. And you just very carefully, without chopping your finger off, walk through it like that. And now what you have is a very thin, very teeny little plug that you can drop in that hole and shut the airflow off. It looks just like that. All right, and it's very small. Anyway, that's what I did because it was just too airy, too much air going through. As soon as I did that, the vapor production almost tripled. It works great now. There's probably another way to seal that hole that I haven't found it. All right, anyway, back to the review. And we're back. That was the mini pipe, the manual mini pipe from East Mall, and it cost me, I think it was around $40, $45. I forget now. The price is probably going to change over time anyway, and that part won't be as critical. But as you can see, once that center hole is plugged, the vapor production is really quite good. Flavor is really good too. And that's just with the standard cartridges. I have yet to, I'm still on my first cartridge. And that's another thing, cartridge life, because it's such a large atomizer, such a large cartridge, the cartridge life on this is just extraordinary for a 3-piece device. And I was afraid that it would look a little like an elephant riding an ant. I'm a pretty big fella, and this is a pretty small pipe, but it really doesn't look that ridiculous. And the function, that's the last thing I'm going to cover, the function on the button is very precise. It's got a good firm click. Some buttons aren't that way. This one, I mean, maybe you can hear it. Makes a nice sound. You can really tell when it's on or when it's off. And the cutoff, God only knows where it ends. I've never hit it. I tried a couple of times, and I didn't unscrew the battery and just mash it and start counting. But it's really long, more than enough. But anyway, vapor production's outstanding. Flavor is outstanding. It's a nice little device. I would probably give that an 8.5, maybe even a 9 out of 10. But that is the manual mini pipe from East Mall. you ought to go straight out and get one. It's really a pretty good